Thanks very much. Hi, Susie.
The first thing it made me think of, and I mean, he said it as well, is in the categorizations where, of character traits.
Yes.
Where Daryl Bem and the masculine and the feminine character traits.
Mm.
And yet, knowing this very well because Billick has made a big point about the fact that I score 7 points higher than the average male on, and he'll tell you that. He probably scores higher than the average female on nurturing and caring. And yet, what Bim really, the study shows is androgyny, the best of both,
Yes.
are the best problem solvers.
Right.
And make the best marriage partners.
Yes.
And the best citizens.
Well, yes, that too. But it's actually the same theory behind this that you're saying, that it's the best of both. It's
Yes.
not one or superior to the other.
Yeah. I remember also when I wrote one book review for Tikkun, Michael Lerner's journal, a review of a book by Daniel Dennett about religion. And I was saying,
Yeah, he's had some words with him too.
I was saying that the left, just like you have a left hand of God, you need to have a left hand of science. And the right hand of science is a very traditional, macho, only the facts kind of science. And the left hand allows for more speculation, allows for intuition as well as reason.
So we need a tribe of Benjamin.
Tribe of Benjamin?
Yeah, they were the left-handed, remember?
Oh, tribe of
Yeah, tribe of Benjamin were left-handed.
Oh,
that's
right.
But that meant the right part side of their
Oh, that's
brains.
right.
Yeah.
Yamin means
Yeah.
left hand.
Ben Hayamin, yeah, was
Right,
right.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, Tim.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions. Here's kind of the first one. You talked about automaticity and instinct as applying to emotions and instinct, but you can get automaticity and a lack of conscious awareness in cognition too. So I'm kind of wondering, where exactly does this automaticity aspect come into play in distinguishing these levels, or does it not, because they can all be automatic under different brain histories?
Well, I'm not sure exactly the best way to answer that. There's a lot of behavior that we do that we not only are not conscious of why we do it, but we don't necessarily have, sometimes we have feelings associated with it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just do it because it's programmed in us to do it. And I'm seeing that in decision-making. Tversky and Kahneman developed all these heuristics of how people decide things in ways that are not necessarily rational, and that they're offshoots of mechanisms that are helpful because they allow us to make decisions quickly, to not deliberate endlessly over everything. Now, how much of these heuristics are related to feelings and how much is just plain automatic? That's a big sort of meta question that I don't think has been answered.
If you take the Kahneman and Tversky idea and sort of juxtapose that with the Snyder and Shiffrin idea about how you can learn a process and then it becomes sort of automatic.
Whose idea?
Snyder and Shiffrin? Snyder and Shiffrin?
Don't know that. Oh, Snyder and Shiffrin, yes.
We
Yes.
can talk more about it later.
Yes.
So
Right.
that's sort of the gist is, if there's some process or procedure that you're learning, you start off.
Yeah,
It's very cognitive, very attentive.
Yeah.
Repetition.
Very
becomes automatic. and
deliberate,
instinctual in a
becomes-
sense.
Yeah, like driving, if you
Exactly.
know well.
Exactly.
Yes.
You get home and you go, oh, my car drove me. How'd I get here?
Yeah, that would be an example of sort of a instinctive cognition, as it were.
Yeah. Now the extreme example is, of course, if you're somewhere and you're wondering how the hell did I get here? I didn't plan to be here.
Story of life.
Apparently, people with some dissociative disorders have that. I was once tested by a well-known cognitive psychologist to see if I had that tendency, and I didn't.
one time, I can't remember how I got home, I knew I'd been drinking a lot, I better not do that again. I did get home.
Yeah.
Because of my background, I know that for a long time you were listed as the one who would teach, I'm not sure if it ever got to artificial intelligence. And that, at the time, say 20 years ago, there wouldn't be enough students to sign up that come from computer engineering. And, you know, we used to get cognitive students who came
Yeah.
from engineering. But now it's such a hot topic, people in the business world. What do you think currently about the push towards artificial intelligence?
Well, it's, I think it's pushing a little bit too hard and too enthusiastically. I think we need to know, at the same time as we develop useful technology, we need to develop how people adapt to it. And we're way behind on that.
Yes.
Even you know, very simple things like the rules of etiquette have not kept up with
Technology.
you know,
Devices.
communication.
Yeah, that's true.
People would never used to think of not answering a phone call or a letter, routinely don't answer emails. I can be guilty of that.
It's all so much anymore, you know,
Yeah.
it's beyond human
So,
ability.
so I mean, it's important to develop technology, but I don't like the fact that we've just kind of run with it. I mean, I really think that a lot of the roots of the increase in inequality in society has been too rapid technological changes compared to people keeping up with. And that's one of the causes of this crisis of meaning that Lerner talked about.
Absolutely, and that would be like a up and coming field, don't you think? To be, you would hope that people would start seeking help on how to do that. You know
Well,
what I'm
there
saying?
certainly are people thinking about it, it's just that how much,
Eventually.
how much thought is going into that versus how much thought is going into developing of novel technologies.
Oh, sure.
And the other thing is some people are losing skills because they're letting machines take over it. Particularly, I've heard that people who use GPSs a lot have lost the ability to read maps. Something I never,
Or no
ever,
left from right.
never want to lose that.
No, it's such a fun thing to do.
There's actually a conference that now a few of us have attended that's called Science and Non-Duality in San Jose.
Mm.
And it's neuroscientists and physicists and so forth. And one of the people, until he spoke one year, I did not know who he was, but it's the man who invented the Intel processor.
Oh.
And it's a physicist from Italy, Federico Fagan. And his statement, after 50-something years and making a whole lot of money, that he now has a company called Synaptics. And he tried to develop artificial intelligence. And his conclusion, as well as a lot of people we know from Harvard now, et cetera, is that it was not possible because consciousness does not emerge from the wet brain.
Mm.
And that was amazing to hear from someone who'd spent his whole life on trying to do it. And he says, no, because consciousness does not emerge from the quantum realm, not from the wet biological brain. So I wondered that's why I was waiting to see what you said about artificial intelligence. Because right now, so many people, Amazon, everyone else is saying that's the direction they're going.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do if they can't?
No. I'm just more concerned with getting people to adapt properly and structuring society to help people. I mean, like the whole idea of nudges that's now come up in behavioral
Yes, I just
economics.
followed.
Structuring social engineering that help people make better decisions. The right kind of technology can help with that, but people have a tendency with technology to believe that technology is just like a force, like the wind, that you can't stop it, and that it's just eventually going to take over. People need to be a little less fatalistic.
I was gonna mention nudge a while ago because here the man wins a Nobel Prize for writing about what Ellen's been doing for how to nudge. Because I think that
Sorry?
Ellen's one of the best people for nudging.
Okay.
He just teaches how to nudge people to make the right kind of decisions. Isn't that what you've been doing forever?
I guess so.
Mhm.
I'd like to play devil's advocate against your position on one part.
Yeah,
Toward the end of it, you made a distinction about how important it was that the rational thought was quantitative, it was ranking, it was judging, and so forth, and emotion wasn't. And I'm wondering why you're making that assumption, because it seems
we're
like
making what assumption?
the idea that the rational part was ranking different options, like you said, men over women, segregated and so forth. Whereas the
No, I didn't
emotional
say that,
was-
no, I did not say that the rational part was doing that. I said that the social myth that reason is superior to emotion does that.
Oh,
I said, if one believes that reason is superior to emotion, they're separate,
I got you.
then you can get into these rankings, groups of or not.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, rationality can be used in a much more humanistic way than that.
Would you agree that rationality and emotion are overlapping in the way that they can be used? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And hasn't those myths grown out of our scientific and educational history in Western Europe, Western Civ, the rational, the Greeks and the Renaissance thinkers?
Yes.
If you look at tribal societies, they don't go that way. They, so much. They made other
Yeah,
reasons for
that's
this.
why Damasio titled his book Descartes' Error, because he said that Descartes was one of the culprits in getting us, getting us into this enlightenment mode, which was advancing science, advancing technology, overcoming superstition. So it probably did a lot of social good in its time. But now we need to particularly with the ecological crisis and with the crisis in artificial intelligence and growth in technology, we need to recapture the,
Humanism.
more primitive so-called connections in addition to the.
Because the other dichotomy that I would list at this point is the young versus the old.
Mhm.
Because we used to have wisdom.
Because of
Yes,
utilitarianism.
yes, we used to have wisdom as being valued, and you spelled it out on there by saying, by what can you contribute? Well, we're not expected that we are supposed to contribute anything.
Yeah, the older people are, particularly with the development of technology, the older people are behind now.
They become useless.
Some of them.
Collectively on the average.
But it's like, what does a young person need to speak to an older person who's had experience or education or knowledge when they can just Google it, Just like,
Yeah.
they're just like, well, I don't need your
Yeah,
information.
What role do you think emotion plays in the development or evolution of aesthetics?
Emotion plays in the development of aesthetics quite a lot.
Yeah, well, no, the reason I asked is I was just thinking a little bit ago about an article I read a few weeks back, coming from the anthropological perspective here. We now have some pretty good evidence that demonstrates that our development of tool use was not just the product of our cognitive abilities, but also stimulated and made it important to develop those. So there was like a feedback effect in developing the feedback abilities. But at the same time, it's really interesting because in the same article, they were also pointing out that some of the earliest aesthetics we see are in some of the really spectacular stone tools, as well as the carvings and things on the walls and things like that. But you see these stone tools, and you think, that has no functional need. And even then, even in some things like, outlaws or spear throwers, they find these wonderful little carvings inside of these things, and they make them very elaborate. And it's like, at what point did simple functional use and really good pragmatic practical use give rise then to this emotional and the need for I've got to have something beautiful, because this is really cool. I like this.
Yeah,
It's inspiring, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the artist.
I mean, how does that, I'm trying to figure out how that might fit in with this.
The most
And
primitive people is the inherent of humor. So our Western perspective is always to give priority to rationality, like you say. And so we separate the values
Right.
according to how you do, how smart seems to us.
well,
And
talking
so
about aesthetics, I want to get back to what you said about
Mm-hmm.
aesthetics. The architect Buckminster Fuller was once asked, was he trying to make things beautiful? And he said, an interesting answer to that. He said, I'm trying only to solve practical problems, but if the solution isn't beautiful, I know that it's wrong.
There's something about harmony in nature that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers, the Fibonacci numbers,
Yes.
all the numbers. Math is a language,
Yes,
and it's pure and beautiful.
yeah, that's right.
And there's the recognition of
where I
that,
come
but it's
from.
innate. So that you don't need to be a mathematician to see the perfection of something.
Right.
And we were watching the Chaco Canyon.
Oh, Chaco.
Yes.
I don't watch that.
Well, that was fantastic, yes. And you see the mathematics, the solution to this very problematic
There are
astronomical
intricate
problem.
relationships in all these
That were
different
solved
layers.
almost in a purely aesthetic way, just by observation. And the first, I imagine, the first tendency was to look at the sky because it was beautiful. And then observe, and then intelligence, natural intelligence, take you to a series of rational, processes. But the first instinct was just to be there in love with the sky.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't need rationality to take you there,
So-
because the human organism will sort of resonate to those ratios.
They're intertwined. You don't
Yeah.
need to separate your intelligence from your.
Yeah.
And I think that the more intelligent people have the most developed sense of aesthetics, of everything. They're more refined beings because they're highly intelligent. So therefore, they can have higher emotions.
Yeah, when you talk about mathematics, I've observed math phobia in particularly student, I was in a math department for a long time. I observed students taking it, and I think an awful lot of math phobia is based on this kind of radical separateness.
Yes.
Belief which is unfounded, unwarranted. In order to deal with this math, this numbers, this is alien, I have to suspend my, have to be purely technical, I have to suspend my intuition, I have to suspend my aesthetics, I have to approach it differently with a capital D, and people get stuck. But really, the best mathematicians don't do
They're
that.
intuitive, actually.
Don't.
Well, and math is like a language describing relationships,
Yeah,
which is different from when you learned your algebra in the ninth grade, and they said, you have to remember this and do this, and then do that, and do that, and it didn't make sense. But when you think about it as as an older person, I can look back and say, I get it, there's an intricate system of communicating about relationships that
yes.
I didn't understand when I was trying to take algebra.
Art doesn't necessarily need to be the separate set of equations like that. It can be much more analogous to a jazz improvisation. Now, a musician or anybody off the street isn't going to necessarily know the different number ratios at different intervals,
Have
but
you
because
seen
of the way
formulas
that
and watched them look like music
well,
notations?
I wanted,
that's
been
not
asked,
the point I was driving at
No,
exactly, but I'll give it up.
because you know more about music than